This is my dad. He owns property here in the Newport, Giles area. It dates back to the 1700s, his family. And he's been fighting this Mountain Valley pipeline, the surveys and all. It's been very stressful for him. He had a stroke 11 days ago. We can't say it was related to this, but I'm sure it's not helped. Why do you send these people these letters? It's very stressful for these elderly people, running back and forth to get the certified letters. And they say, well, we just send them to everybody because we're in such a rush to get this data to FERC under such pressure that we just send them out even though that we may not survey your property. So he's scheduled to meet them up here for the first survey. And he's sitting right here in this very spot all day long, never saw him. They come in on the backside, did the survey, left, and he just sits here all day long. 86-year-old man had to drive up from Salem and drive himself all the way back. I called him the next day and I said, hey, I thought y'all were gonna do the survey yesterday. They said, oh, we did do it. I said, you did it? My dad sits there all day, never saw you. And just that alone just really stressed my dad that they lied to him like that.
I had to build a road to access the property that I inherited, and now Mountain Valley Pipeline is going to take that over. They're going to use that both for construction work and maintenance after the pipeline's put in. I think that's disgraceful.
So the Mountain Valley Pipeline is going to come across this lower ridge here. They're going to take a 125-foot swipe. They're going to be coming on down through here, and they're going to start dropping down here and then cut across the original home place that dates back into the 1700s. My dad's cousin Gordon still lives in the house today. And then it's going to continue on across 3 to 4 farms. And over here where the remains are, these chimneys, down on the lower part of the property is the Continental Divide, where the Johns Creek flows one direction and Sinking Creek flows the other direction. This is the map that we found out that they were going to take over the road. They never told us, and still haven't told us, but the geology surveyors had this map showing us one day how they were going to be, the route they were going to be looking at on the pipeline, and we noticed this yellow line. We say, hey, what's this yellow line about? And they said, well, that's the service roads that they're going to be using. And it so happens that that's the road that comes into the property that my dad's paid up in here to build, and they're just going to take it over. When we've asked about it, they say, well, there's no money compensation, but they'll come in here and make the nicer, wider road. We don't want it better. We like it a subtle road in like it is. We don't want a better road. And then he said, well, we'll put it back the way it is. And we're like, well, how do you put it back?
And not only that, but it's split the property that I have in 2 pieces. I'll only be able to cross it where they say I can. I won't be able to tend it, plant, or do anything that I want to do with the land, but I'm going to have to pay taxes on it. They get all the benefit. I get no benefit out of it whatsoever. It's all corporate greed for gas to be sold out of the United States, because the United States doesn't need the energy in the first place, but did. We use wind and solar.
He's a fighter, though. He's making good recovery. I hate to see it for him. Like I say, the farm's been in the family since the 1700s, and it's really hard to see this.
The saddest part about this is to see the change in my father-in-law. George Jones grew up here, and he delighted. You could just see the sparkle in his eyes every generation that he told the stories about this home place, stories about the horse that fell in the hole and the engineering that had to be done to get that horse out of the hole. And he delighted our generations of his family with these stories. But he doesn't tell those stories anymore. He doesn't have that twinkle in his eye anymore. All he's telling is the stories of how sad he is about the pipeline coming through his home place. Now he's sitting in the hospital with a stroke, and he's blaming all this stress directly on that. Everywhere we take him, whether it's DC or just one of the local meetings, if there's someone young there and they form a relationship with him, and they like to hear his story and his side, his history on this land.
It's up on the Blue Ridge Mountain, it's there I'll take my stand. Up on the Blue Ridge Mountain, there I'll take my stand. With a rifle on my shoulder, 6-shooter in my hand, I've been all around this world.